morning. Call the organizational meeting of Woodlands County Council to order at 9 a.m. My responsibility is to call for the appointment of the Reeve, or nominations for the Reeve. I will do that 3 times, and then I'll accept the motion for nomination cease, and then depending on what happens after that, I'll turn the floor over to the newly elected Reeve. So first of all, call for nominations, first time for nomination for the position of Reeve. Question?
I'd like to nominate Councillor Burrows.
Okay. Councillor Cush, Councillor Burrows. Call nomination second time for nomination for the position of Reeve. Councillor Dean.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Cush.
Cush. I'll call the third and final time for nomination for the position of Reeve.
Just a point of order, you didn't ask if the nomination was accepted.
Will you accept your nomination?
So at this time, I won't accept the nomination. I think we've got a couple of issues that are going on that I think I can do better from this chair rather than the Reeves chair. So for that reason, I'm not going to accept the nomination. I very much appreciate it, though, I really do. And yeah, so I'll decline the nomination at this point.
So you're declining the nomination?
Yes.
Noted in the minutes that Mr. Burrows declined the nominations. So, Mr. Councillor Cush, did you accept your nomination?
I'll accept the nomination.
Okay. Okay, so we got that point of order corrected. Thank you for that. Call third and final time for nomination for the position of Reeve. Hearing none, a motion for nomination cease.
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Burrows, all in favor? It is carried. Congratulations, Reeve, or Councillor Cush, on being selected as the Reeve. I turn the chair over to you.
Thank you. Okay, so item 3, appointment of Deputy Reeve. Apologize, my computer started rebooting here halfway through this, so I believe in the order is Councillor Prestige still continuing? So do we have to make a motion to continue with Councillor Prestige? He's already in rotation on that.
Yeah, sorry, I opened up the wrong one. Yeah, the motion to continue on with the rotation of every 8 months with Councillor Prestige, being till June.
2016.
Councillor
Yeah.
Wilhelm?
Yeah, I'll make the motion that council confirms the appointment of members as Deputy Reeve for an 8-month term rotation in alphabetical order, with Councillor Prestige continuing on until June 26, 2024.
Okay, motion on the floor. Call the question, all in favor? That one's carried. Seating assignment. Just checking anybody wants to jump side of the table, or everybody's good with their sitting?
I'm good.
I would like to step down from the Economic Development Committee.
Oh, it's just a
Haven't
second
done
round.
that. Just position at the table.
Okay, no, I'm fine here.
Alright, I'll move down to establishment of regular meeting dates, 5.1.
Your worship, members of council, presently you have a rotation of every 2 weeks. One starting at 9:30 a.m. and then the other one, depending on council, kind of jumps it around from between 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Administration is recommending that regardless of what you guys decide. If you can have a consistent start time, administration would appreciate that, because then there's no confusion on whether we're starting at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or 7 o'clock. We just, and that way, again, from everything from preparation for meals and arrangements, it just makes it easier, so.
Councillor Dean?
Through the chair to council, so that 5 o'clock, does that work for everybody?
Councillor Rose?
So I don't have any problem with the 5 o'clock, but my request would be, if we're gonna do the 5 o'clock, that we do it on the second Wednesday rather than the fourth Wednesday. If we can do the fourth Wednesday as the AM meeting, and again, I'm kind of up in the air because of the RMA thing, but oftentimes that fourth Wednesday puts me in a position where I've got something going on that evening, so I get into town at like 1 o'clock kind of thing, and then I'm going again at 7 a.m. the next day, or we've got meetings that night. So if we can just do the evening one as the first Wednesday, or sorry, the second Wednesday, and the morning one is the fourth Wednesday.
Yeah, presently, your worship, members of council, typically you do every 2 weeks, so every once in a while you have 3 meetings in a month, right? So typically the first meeting of the month, right, which can be on the first week of the month or the second week of the month, right, depending on the rotation, is at 9:30. So what I hear Councillor Burrows saying is he preferred the latter meeting towards the end of the month be at in the morning at 9:30.
Just checking, does anybody have any issues with that?
No, I was just gonna say, that's the same with me if I end up back on Lac-Saint Foundation. We always have for some reason, that second meeting in the month always falls on the same day the Lac-Saint Foundation happens, so I've been like,
I think
gone
if-
twice in the last 6 months. So.
If we move it so our earlier meetings are in the evenings, it'd probably make it easier for the Chamber of Commerce meetings too. Councillor Williams?
Sense.
The 5 o'clock is pretty tight for me, but I can probably make it work. Yeah, but if it was at 6, would be better if that works for other people. But if this works, then I can make it work. But that's all. No, that's for the GP. Never mind. Disregard that.
Right, anybody want to make a motion? Councillor Wilhelm?
Okay, I'll motion that council sets regularly scheduled meetings every second Wednesday, alternating between 9:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. beginning November 8th at 2023, with that November 8th meeting being a 5 p.m. meeting. No, is that correct? Yeah, that's right, John, right?
Except it's canceled.
The one that-
Well, you did, yeah.
But that would start this cycle.
Yeah, that'll be the start of the rotation. Second motion there, G&P committee.
Oh, no, it would be opposite, sorry, just to
Okay.
continue on. It would be opposite for what you need, right? John? You need
Well,
morning for the second
November
one?
8th is convention, so we're all gone. That's gonna get canceled later on.
But in November, you need the morning meeting as the second one or evening?
Evening.
November,
Morning.
standby.
Because this is backwards.
Yeah. The morning meeting later in the month.
So you said it right.
Okay. All right, so that's correct what I said.
Okay, motion on the floor. Any discussion, any further discussion? See none, call the question, all in favor? Okay, that's carried. Down to the second motion, G&P.
You want it at 6, Devin?
Councilor Williams?
6 o'clock does work better, but if everyone else likes the 5 o'clock and staff, I can still make it work. So.
Somebody wants to make a motion? Councilor Williams?
I'll make a motion that council sets the governance and priorities committee meetings once per month, excluding July, August, and December, commencing at 5 p.m. per the attached schedule.
Made a motion on the floor. I'll call the question. All in favor? And that one's carried. Down to 6.1, appointment of council representative to committees.
Do they have their list?
Yeah, we usually have a current chart on this too.
It's right down at the bottom.
Is it?
Yeah, there is one.
You want to hand that out?
Good question.
Do we have Councilor Brown?
No, I just.
Through the chair to administration, there's a couple of these committees that I sit on that never met before, and is there like a,
Wondering the viability of them.
yeah, just wondering the viability on continuing on them. Like, we have the Human Resources Committee, which I've been on since I've been on council, that have never met. The Council Remuneration Committee, that's never met. Do those need to be full-on committees, or should we just make them ad hocs?
Yeah, your worship, members of council, for example, the Human Resource Committee and regarding human resource policies, actually should have went to the Human Resource Committee before it goes to governance and priority, but because of the fact that we've established a governance and priority, administration actually just went directly to that. So that's our error in saying that we bypass that committee. So there may not be a need for that Human Resource Committee. But that was the intent. If there are any human resource matters, i.e. for policy related, because that's what council looks after, is the policies is related to that. So that's what the intent of that committee was.
So does GMP then supersede that? We might
Yeah,
not need that committee anymore?
That's how we've taken our policies to that GMP for discussion.
So we should be able to strike that one then if we haven't used it. We're running
Yep.
stuff through GMP.
Yeah, we can if that's the wishes of council.
Anybody else on council feel the need to keep the committee if it's not, we're running it through the GMP anyways?
Then we just have a motion to remove the Human Resources Committee.
Councilor Rose?
Through the chair, I actually agree with Councillor Wilhelm, just making it as a, kind of having it available as an ad hoc, rather than, because we may get something that changes in the org or changes in the HR, and I think we'd be better off to just have it as ad hoc, and then if it needs to get going, it's kind of there, and there's terms of reference for it, rather than pulling it all apart right now.
Yeah, I agree. So how do we,
Well, would we, through to Mr. Frank there, would we just, I guess, motion to have that turned into a ad hoc committee then, instead of a?
Yeah, again, if there's a terms of reference, your procedural, meeting procedural bylaw indicates what has committees, so we would have to look at that and review it, right? But I mean, all it is changing the terms of reference to say that they'll meet, and I believe actually, if I remember correctly, it meets as required, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
it
what it
is
says.
actually an ad hoc committee in itself, right? If that's, I'm using the term correctly, is when necessary, right?
Just, Carrie, just checking, do you have a list my computer's doing this update, and it won't let me do anything?
This isn't the list that has the current names, though.
No, that's.
Do you have the one with the current?
Just on the computer, I can go print some if you want.
It's okay, well, we'll probably be through this by then, I'm just,
Okay.
at least I have a list I can go through.
Yeah.
Like I said, unfortunately, my computer started updating, and it's only 25% done now, and we've been here for a half hour. Councilor Brown.
through the chair to council, just for expediency, what if we'll leave the listing as is for now, but why don't we bring the committee list to the GMP meeting and discuss it there?
That'd be a good idea. Wait, I guess, part of the committees.
Okay,
Puts me in a really awkward spot here.
you want this for now?
If you wouldn't mind, I can just borrow yours. Jeremy. This isn't exactly what I was planning on here this morning, but okay. So I guess we'll kind of pull up the start of the list and we'll go through the committees.
Ag service.
So start of the list here, Woodlands, the Ag Service Board. Anybody on the board want to move off the board? Anybody not on the board want to? Current members, I believe myself, Councillor Williams, Councillor Dean, and Councillor Booth. Any changes there? Okay, move down, Airport Advisory Committee. We have 3 councillors sitting on that board. Pardon?
I'll stay on.
Sit on, and who else do we? Councillor
I
Will?
had a question. Councilor Burrows, do you want to take my spot on that committee?
I can, I just, with me being a landowner, and everything, I'm trying to figure out how that works. It's been frustrating, because I know I have a fair technical background on it, but with all the other stuff going on, so.
It's still just an advisory board though, so you could still make motions and come to council, and then where it would affect it, you could recuse yourself. But I mean, I think your experience
true.
out there would be useful.
There are other landowners on that
Yeah.
board, so that's not an issue, so. Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with taking your spot on that.
Okay, so we have Councillor Burrows going on that way, and there's Councillor Dean, and who else was on that one? Councillor Prestige? Okay, so we have one change there, Councillor Burrows and removing Councillor Wilhelm.
Sorry, yeah, okay, never mind. Okay.
I think we should just go through the list and make a motion for all the changes at the end, Mr. Rank.
Yeah, what you would do is, if that's the case, and if there are changes, then if the council does individual motions, then that's fine. And then at the end, everything else remains the same, would be the motion on all other committees.
Okay,
Remember,
so a motion for all the changes. So if I get a motion then to appoint Councillor Burrows and remove Councillor Wilhelm from the Airport Advisory, Councillor Dean. Okay, motion on the floor, call the question, all in favor? Okay, Councillor Remuneration Committee. We have 3 councillors. Again, I think this should be one that we bring to G&P after, so I just recommend leaving it as is for now until we have a discussion on it. Economic Development Committee. Who we have on, if people want to stay on.
I don't want to stay on.
And if Councillor Prestige wants to go off, we have Councillor Goodman.
I'll step down as well.
Okay. We have 2 vacancies if we can get councillors. Councillor Dean, are you planning on staying?
I'll remain, yep.
Councillor Wilhelm?
I have a question to the ex-committee members, or maybe Councilor Dean. Would that committee consider moving those meetings to an evening time?
Yeah, I think the conversation could take place at the first meeting. And if you were unable to make that first meeting, if you wanted to sit on it, we can certainly bring that up.
Through Mr. Frank, is that something that would be, I know our members at large, a lot of them have days or work and stuff in the daytime too. It might make it a little bit easier for committee members as well. I'm just wondering, I know it's Mr. Roach's schedule too, but
yeah, your worship, members of council, it would be just a minor cost if you're having evening meetings. But
okay, but it is something that's doable. Would you?
I'll put my name on it. Hoping we
Um,
can switch to an evening meeting.
Okay, we do have one more vacancy. Anybody wants to sit on the economic development? Not,
That one for me is when does that one meet again? It's like the second Thursday or third Thursday?
Third
It's
Thursday.
the 3rd Thursday, and they're looking at moving it to an evening meeting.
Yeah, and that's exactly when the RMA stuff is going on, so
Councillor Williams?
I could put my name on there, same thing.
see how it
Can't
goes.
make the 10 o'clock, but I could probably do evenings if it got switched. So pending that, maybe it can change.
Okay, if I can get a motion then to appoint Councillor Williams and Councillor Wilhelm to the board, and remove Councillor Kuchen and Councillor Prestige. Councillor Wilhelm?
Motion.
Motion on the floor, call the question, all in favor? All right, that one is moved. Emergency Management Agency, I believe that was Councillor Williams. Anybody else want to be on there, or are we good with Councillor Williams still?
There's Council Prestige was on there too.
Oh, and Councillor Prestige, sorry. Okay, moving down, where are we at here? The Enforcement Review Committee, 3 councillors and 1 alternate on that. Anybody, well, we haven't met yet, but any changes? Human Resource Committee, we had that discussion there, we'll move that one, leave as is, move it on to G&P. Joint Liaison Committee, 3 councillors. Current makeup is Councillor Dean, Councillor Kuchen, and Councillor Burrows. Given I'm in the Reeve position, I would like to put my name in for this one as well. Councillor Burrows?
Yeah, and I'd like to stay because I have a fair bit of history on that particular board. I don't know what else to say.
No, it's also, I agree, it's also closer to the Whitecourt area and impacts. Councillor Dean?
Yeah, for the same reasons, I'd like to remain on the committee.
Councillor Kuchen?
I can step off of that one as well.
Okay. Any other discussion on this one? Can I get a motion to, I guess, appoint myself to the joint liaison and remove Councillor Kuchen? Oh, Councillor Prestige, motion on the floor, call the question, all in favor? Carried. MPC, we have 4 councillors on this.
Subdivision Appeal Board.
Pardon?
Subdivision Appeal Board is next.
I've got in mind MPC, and then subdivision appeal board.
Your worship, if I may, just so that clear, that council, anybody sitting on the MC can't sit on the SDAB and vice versa, so.
We're working through, we'll get, if the order is different on yours versus mine, then we'll work out in the end. So MPC, we do currently have 4 councillors, council's on there. If anybody else wants to step onto it, or if anybody wants to
I'll stay on.
stay on. Councillor Dean?
No, I'm not on that committee.
It was myself, Councillor Burrows, Councillor
Councillor
Kuchen.
Kuchen.
Anybody else? Nobody wants to be on that one? Okay, so we'll leave that as is. SDAB, 1 councillor.
I'm on it and I've done the training for it, so
Okay.
it's never met, but I'm ready for whenever it does.
No worries. Woodlands County Community Services Committee. Says meets the second Thursday at 5:30. I'm not sure how active the board is. Haven't heard much. Councillor Kuchen?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind sitting on that one.
Who do we currently have for the makeup on that one?
I'm on that one, and if Councillor Kulkin wants to take that spot, I can step down since I'm going over the airport advisory, so that'll pick me one up and drop me one off, so.
Okay. If I can get a motion then to remove Councillor Burrows from the committee and add Councillor Kuchen. Councillor Dean?
So moved.
So just, we have to confirm the other 2, so you just confirm the 3 appointments and the alternate. So presently we have Councillor Culkin, Councillor Cush, oh wait, I gotta make sure, sorry, Councillor Dean, Councillor Wilhelm, and Councillor Culkin, and with Reeve Cush as the alternate.
Okay, any other changes to that committee? Okay, seeing none again, call the question, all in favor? Okay. Woodlands County Library Board. It's myself and Councillor Williams so far. Anybody else? Okay. Enjoy that one. Pride Valley Aggregate. Three counselors currently, that's Counselor Cooligan, Counselor Prestige, and Counselor Williams.
I'll stay on that one.
Okay. Given exactly where it is in relation to the county, I definitely agree having Counselor Williams and Counselor Cooligan in that. Are we in Salmo A? Counselor Dean?
Hang on, as I read this,
Yeah.
Counselor Kulkin is not on that Pride Valley, I am. And if
Okay.
you'd like to, we
Sorry,
can swap
I
there.
said
Peter, would you like to sit on that committee?
Yeah, I was,
Sorry, I made the assumption Counselor Cooligan was on that committee. So can I get a motion then to, Counselor,
I'll make that motion for Counselor Coken, Counselor Williams, and Counselor Prestige.
okay, motion on the floor, call the question, all in favor? That one is carried. And Salmo Egg, just go through these here. I obviously like to stay on that one. Counselor Preston, I'm assuming you want to stay with the Blue Ridge Community League, for the Salmo Egg. These are the kind of community ones we're all stuck on here. Where do we go? Moose Lake, Topland, Barhead, Egg and Rec. Youth Committee Advisory. We have one member at large on that one and one counselor, or so the counselor and alternate. Yeah, not sure how often we meet, haven't seen any on this.
On which one, sir?
This one, youth
Oh,
advisory.
you're already down there. No, we haven't met.
Is it one you'd like to continue on?
Yep. Sure.
And, sorry, the alternate for that one was
John.
John? Hi, West End Bus, myself and Counselor Prestige.
Did we get Mark?
Okay, not seeing anybody else.
Your worship,
Yes.
did you get Mark, the Barhead Regional? Just,
Did I miss that one when I was going through the list?
You said Barhead, but you didn't say.
Barhead Region, sorry, I've seen the ag one and then I missed that one. Bark, Counselor Prestige, or that's Counselor Williams?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Okay, just making sure you want to say nobody else wants to try to push him out of it? Okay. Where are we at here? Whitecourt Community Service Advisory Board. One Counselor Dean.
So that's a committee who I've struggled to make the timing. It's an evening meeting, and it makes sense to have somebody from our community services board attend that one. But I'd sure like to give that up if somebody else can take that on, because I'm just not making the meetings. I'm reading the minutes, going through, but actually being at the meetings, it's been tough.
It's evenings?
Yeah. Typically it's 7 o'clock.
I'm much closer than Counselor Coken, so I'll take that one over.
Okay, if I get a motion to appoint Counselor Wilhelm and remove Counselor Dean from the Whitecourt Community Services Advisory Board. Counselor Prestige.
just, your worship, and the alternate being Counselor Burrows.
And the alternate, you still gonna alternate that one, Counselor Rose?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wouldn't it make more sense though to have somebody from the community services board, one of the 3 counselors, to be the
Yeah,
alternate?
if you want, sure.
And I can certainly be the alternate. The biggest thing with that is that our community services director likes the information coming back from the Whitecourt board, just to see what's going on, and typically what I'm doing is forwarding minutes and
okay, so I guess, and so the motion will add Counselor Dean as the alternate, remove Counselor Burrows. So with that, I'll call the question, all in favor? That one is moved. Whitecourt Performing Arts Steering Committee, any changes? Whitecourt Protective Services Committee, any changes?
I'll stay on that one.
And I can stay as alternate.
Okay. Whitecourt Regional Forestry Advisory Committee, again, any changes from council? Whitecourt Regional Solid Waste Management Authority. Yeah. Any other changes?
Am I on that one?
That's myself and Councillor
Okay, I
Prestige.
already stepped off.
Alberta Care, that's myself and Councillor Williams as the alternate. Any changes there? Barhead and District Social Housing Authority. Community Futures, and we just went through this, so I'm on that one now. Eagle Tower Victim Services.
I'll stay on that one. It's probably gonna be done next year sometime.
And then we're at the Grizzly Regional Economic Alliance Growth. Any changes there? The Golden Triangle.
Just
Councillor Coogan?
there was a request from Growth to have an alternate as well, because we're inviting the alternates to have input into that, into the new development of the new board.
Right, to Mr. Frank, would that be something we'd have to change the terms of reference on, or can we put an alternate on at this point?
No, if the board is saying that they would have participation from the alternate, then, yeah.
Wait, is there, Councillor Prestige?
I'll go on. That's okay.
If I can get a motion then to appoint Councillor Prestige as the alternate for Growth.
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Wilhelm, call the question, all in favor? It's carried. The Golden Triangle. Any changes there?
I'm good.
Lac St. Anne Foundation,
I can stay on that one.
okay. Miller Western Forest Products, Public Advisory Group, any changes there? See none. Northern Alberta Elected Official, I guess that'll be myself then as the Reeve appointed to that one.
Yep.
Do we need to make a motion for that, or it just
Yep.
says Reeve?
Yeah.
Okay, if I can get a motion then to appoint myself to the Council Burrows.
I'll make a motion that we push to the NABL.
There's an alternate on there too.
It says or designate and CAO.
I think the designate could just be automatically the deputy
The
read.
deputy Reeve would be,
Is that the motion?
uh,
Because right now, under our terms, it's,
just says or
the
designate.
alternate is Councillor Wilhelm.
We should make it whoever the deputy read is.
Okay, well then I'll amend my motion to include the alternate as the current deputy read at the time.
At the time. Motion on the floor, call the question, all in favor?
Just say appointed.
That one's carried. VSI Committee, any changes there? Whitecourt District Ag Society. Whitecourt District Chamber of Commerce, it's just an update. Whitecourt District Public Library, no changes, I'll sit in that one still. YRL, I'll sit in that one still. And I guess I need a motion then to accept the other committees as they are.
I think we missed
We've
Whitecourt
got two.
District and Agricultural Society.
Pardon?
That one was further up on my list.
Whitecourt District Agricultural Society.
Yeah, I think I passed that one further up on my list. My list that I have in this is different than the list down below.
He brought it up.
That's the Whitecourt and District Ag Society, well, any changes there? Councillor Wilhelm?
There are two more, the Health Professionals Attraction and Retention Committee
H part, that one's not on that list.
and an ICF committee. These are two at the very end. It's weird you don't have the same.
I was going, there's the two lists with the terms and the other one is not on the one with the terms. That's where. Okay, so, the H part committee, Councillor Burrows,
So I currently sit on that. I wanted to sit on as Reeve, but I think you might want to reevaluate that. The other thing is that, I don't know why, but for some reason they always schedule that during a bad time for me, so I haven't been able to make a couple of them.
I'd be willing to let my name stand for the H part. Nobody else?
Okay, I'll make the motion that Councilor Bro step down from the Health Professionals Attraction and Retention Committee and council appoints. re-push through the committee as the representative.
Okay, motion on the floor, last question, all in favor? That one is carried, and the ICF committee list, 3 counselors. It's a new committee.
If I
Yeah,
could,
go ahead,
Mr.
Councilor
Chair, I think that one's gonna dovetail into when the joint liaison committee kind of disappears under the ICF committee, so for now, appointing, just to bring them across, whoever's on the ICF committee, just bring them in, sorry, whoever's on the joint liaison committee, bring them over to the ICF committee. And
That's
I think
my
the-
suggestion too, it's kind of the
Right.
same thing.
Yeah.
If I can get a motion then to appoint myself, Councillor Burrows, and Councillor Dean to the ICF committee. Councillor Boogan? Take the motion on the floor, call the question, all in favor? That one is carried. Again, if I can get a motion just to accept the other committees as they are. Councillor
I'll
Boogan?
motion to accept the committees with no changes to remain as they are.
Motion on the floor, call the question, all in favor? Okay, that one is moved. 7.1, appointment for the Ag Service Board Chair. Councillor Dean?
If Peter's willing, I'd move that council appoints Councillor Kuchen as chair of the Ag Services Board for a term of 1 year.
I would prefer that someone else took that position, but I will take it if no one else wants to.
The 4 of us. I would definitely support Councillor Dean's request in that. You've been doing a great job, so. With that, so we have an appointment of Councillor Pukin, motion on the floor, call the question, all in favor? That one is carried. Congratulations. Thank you again. 8.1, appointment of signing officers for Woodlands County. That would be Councillor Wilhelm.
A motion that council authorizes the Reeve, or in absence of the Reeve, or deputy Reeve, or in absence of the deputy Reeve, any councillor to sign negotiable instruments on behalf of Woodlands County.
Motion on the floor, any discussion? Seeing none, call the question, all in favor? That one is carried, and we have one more. Councillor Wilhelm.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn,